Good afternoon, everybody. Pigskin Pete here. Happy 4th of July to everybody. Welcome back to episode 4 of Behind the Camera with Pete. And oh boy, do I have a distinguished guest for you today. I got to give you a little bit of background before I introduce this gentleman. I don't say this lightly. This is one of my favorite sports YouTubers, hands down. And the fact that he even agreed to do this with me makes me extremely happy, and I know it's probably going to make a lot of you viewers out there extremely happy too. This guy is probably one of the most genuine and funny video makers on YouTube. I'll give you a little bit of a backstory because I do backstories for all of these behind the cameras. And I think I found out about the Sports Fury through Spencer from Rover Sports. And shortly after I found the Sports Fury, I found out about this guy and found his channel. And listen, there's only a handful of video makers out there that I have notifications for that I make sure that I watch every single video they upload. And this guy is one of them. And during the course of this interview here, you'll understand why, and I'll get into that. But without further ado, let's welcome the one, the only King Dingbat Philly.500. How you doing, sir?
Yo, everybody, how you doing? Pigskin Pete, thank you for having me on the show. Thank you for the nice, kind words in the intro, man. I've wanted to do something with you for a long time. I love your channel, and I'm just honored to be here.
Yeah, man. We never spoke on the phone or anything until today, but we've commented back and forth. And when I was making the list of video makers I wanted to interview for this series, whenever I came up with the idea for this series, there was probably about 6 or 7 video makers on that list that I put a star by their name and said, this is one person I absolutely have to have, or I've failed. And you were on that list. So I'm glad that you accepted the offer here. And I think that this is going to be great. And I hope you're ready for some personal questions. Not too personal, though.
Yeah, I am. And like I said, it's an honor. And I'm just happy you invited me on.
All right, so for all you guys out there, before I get into the questions here, this guy's a Philadelphia Eagles fan, Philadelphia 76ers, basically all Philadelphia sports, right? I mean, is there a sport from Philadelphia that you don't cover or are not a diehard fan of?
No, I would say when it comes to the major sports, it would be Philly all the way for everyone. Maybe some college, I like Penn State, and I have a liking for the Miami Hurricanes. For some reason, my cousin was a big fan, and I do like the Hurricanes. So okay. That would be about it.
Now, so behind the scenes here a little bit, you are currently living in California, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, I am. Yes.
All right. So I've had a couple of people I gave it inside information that you were the guy I was having on today, and they said he lives in California, but he's a Philly fan. So give me the history of your fandom with Philadelphia. Are you an East Coast guy that migrated west?
Yeah, I was born in Philly. I grew up in South Jersey, and then I grew up also a little bit in Maryland when I was in high school my senior year. I got in trouble in Jersey and basically was shipped to Maryland. So I was there for a while. But most of my life, I grew up in the Philly area. So that's how I became an Eagles fan, and it was kind of born into me. Then I migrated out west, came to California when I basically met my wife and got married. So
gotcha. So I don't know if you know this about me. You can't see me right now because you're on the phone, but I have a Philadelphia 76ers shirt on just in honor of Philly.500 today. But
you're the man.
So my wife, both sides of my family, my side of the family and my wife's side of the family are both Pennsylvania natives. So my parents are from Western Pennsylvania, just outside of Pittsburgh. They're big Steelers, people. And my entire, my wife's side of the family, on both sides of her family, are Philadelphia people. She's actually still has a lot of aunts, uncles, cousins that are still living in Philly, and they are big-time Philly fans. So my wife's second favorite team behind the Panthers, and really sometimes I think she likes Philly teams more than Carolina teams, but she is a huge Philadelphia Eagles fan and Philadelphia 76ers fan. She's the one that got me this shirt. She was there a couple of months ago for a game, and she brought me home this souvenir shirt. So yeah.
You got a very smart wife.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with the fan base from Philly, and I'll give you a quick story real quick. the only interaction I've had with Philly fans in an actual game is, I think it was maybe 4 years ago. I went to a Carolina Panthers Philadelphia Eagles game in Carolina. I think it was a Sunday night football game. And I got to say something about Philadelphia Eagles fans. You guys are the craziest, most hardcore fans in the NFL, bar none. I went with a group of guys. We're all Panthers fans, obviously. And you ever see these videos on YouTube and on the news where people get in the fights in the stands and there's fists thrown and people are always looking at it like, man, why do people go to sports games and fight? Well, I was almost in one of those videos because the Philadelphia Eagles fans that were sitting in front of us, it got real serious real quick, and to the point where security actually came up to our level and kept an eye on us about midway through the third quarter because things got serious. And after the game was over, the security escorted out the Philly fans in front of us to separate us to make sure we didn't leave together. That's how crazy it got. So Philadelphia fans are crazy.
Oh, yeah, some of them are crazy, for sure.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to ask you about the origin of your YouTube channel, but before I do that, I want to say this and ask you this, actually, because something about you that separates you from a lot of video makers, something that I can relate to, actually, is the video that you made or the live stream you made, and then the video the day after the Super Bowl when you guys won a couple of years ago. The emotion that you went through was so genuine. You cried on your video or on camera, and I think I commented or even on the live stream or maybe in the comments section immediately and said, look, man, I know how you feel. I was there in 2016 when Clemson won their first national championship in 35 years, and I cried tears of joy. But, I mean, it was such an honest and genuine reaction. Could you take me back to that day, that moment when that game was over and you got to see Philadelphia win a Super Bowl, and just describe the emotions that you felt to me?
Oh, man, I'll tell you, when Brandon Graham strip sacked Brady, and then we kicked that field, I knew right there, I believed right there it was over, and I started getting emotional from that point on. And then, of course, to see them hold the trophy and all those kind of things, I just remember just bawling my eyes out, first of all. But I just remember thinking, I really was starting to wonder, will I ever see this? And I started thinking about my father, because he's older, and I started thinking about, he wondered if he would ever see this. And, just like the relief from all those kind of things was all going through my mind and coming up emotionally during that whole thing. And, the funny thing is I didn't sleep for 3 days after that, because I swear to you, I thought I was going to wake up from a dream, and I was so afraid I was dreaming because I just could not believe we actually won. It was something special.
Yeah. Again, I can relate. Whenever Clemson won that 2016 national championship, man, I didn't sleep for a couple days after that. I watched the game over and over again. And after about 3 days and everything died down and the emotions died down, I was absolutely emotionally and physically drained from the whole thing. And now last year, Clemson won again, so twice in the past 3 years. And that one was unbelievably great, too. And I actually went out in the garage as soon as that game ended and did a similar type of video where I just poured my emotions out. I didn't cry because it was the second one, in the past 3 years, but I still was highly emotional. And those are the kind of videos that I like to see. And you don't see a lot of people on YouTube make those type of videos. Sometimes you'll see people do reactions after a win like that or something. And, they're putting it on a little bit, maybe to get views and clicks and reactions, but you can always tell when it's genuine. And that your reaction to that was truly 100% genuine. And I related to you, even though I don't care about the Eagles, I related to how you felt.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. It was just something. It was magical, man. I can't explain it. That was the first time we ever won. It's just, I don't think the second time, if and when, I don't think it'll be that emotional. But I mean, it'll still be great nonetheless.
Yeah, the first one's always the best one. The first one that you see, is always the best one. But
Anyway.
Yeah. All right, so let's get it.
What?
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was just going to say, and for a lot of us Eagle fans, and Eagle fans will know, that is really passed down from generation to generation. I mean, my father is a big Eagle fan. My grandfather they were big Eagle fans. So like you can't help but think about your family and your parents and all those things during it. It's so much more than just like a game,
Right. And all the time and money and that you've invested in being a fan, it all comes to a head at that point. And it's a great feeling. So I can relate. Now I want to go ahead and get into what we're really here to talk about, and that is the YouTube channel. Now I'm always fascinated to know about the origin of these YouTube channels, because I don't know if you've seen any of the other ones I've done. I know you mentioned that you saw the one I did with Josh and Sean, but the idea to come up with a YouTube channel, start making videos, and then stick with it. So tell me the very, very origin, the very, very beginning. Where did this idea come from? And what in the hell inspired you to turn on the camera and act like a complete dingbat, the king dingbat?
Well, it's weird. Like, I was in Florida. I was visiting family in Florida, and I was driving cross country. So I had a lot of time to think, and I just was driving. All of a sudden, I was like, you know what? Football season's starting. I think I want to make a YouTube channel. Mainly because I'm in California. There's not many Eagle fans here. I don't know very many people. All my family and everybody's back east. And I was like, I just really need somewhere to vent. I need to vent. And I really saw it as like almost like you to be my psychiatrist. I could just go out there, say what I have to say, and then be done with it. Like get it off my chest, Yeah. And that was why I did it. I never expected anybody to watch it. To be honest with you, I didn't expect anybody to watch it. I never really expected it to grow. I didn't really expect much of anything from it, just other than I was just going to go in there and vent.
That's funny. Again, that's something else we have in common, because the same exact reason here. I got tired of arguing with people in comment sections about football. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to put it on camera, and then, I'm going to always have the last word on my channel. That's what it came down. It's my ego taking over is what it was. But again, I didn't. Whenever I asked Josh and Sean that question, they had been planning this for years. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. I mean, they came into this thing, fully prepared. Me, it was just turning on my camera phone one day, and spewing into the camera phone, and it just sort of snowballed from there. And so it sounds like you had a sort of a similar type of origin.
Yeah, I mean, to be quite honest, like the first 3-4 months I did it, I think I had like 7 subscribers. Probably one was my wife, a couple were probably my brother, and like nobody watched. And I remember saying to myself, well, this is fun, but I probably will do this the rest of the football season, and then hopefully maybe I'll just move on. And I don't even know which video it was, but some video caught, and all of a sudden, ever since then, it started growing, and it was really unexpected, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and you've done great, and everybody has that story. Everyone has that one video that sort of, broke open the doors. Maybe not like got you a ton of subscribers overnight, but it's the one that broke through that exposed you to a lot of people. And for me, I was same thing, floundering around like the first couple of weeks, and getting 5 or 6 views per video. Nobody really cared. I was doing prediction videos, and I was I don't know what I was trying to do. I thought I was an ESPN anchor or something, but I was terrible at it. And one day I just got angry, and I did a video trash talking the Miami Hurricanes and the game they were about to play a game. And I just kind of vented on it. And I woke up the next morning, and again, like you said, I had maybe like 10 or 15 subscribers, and it had like 4,000 views. And all of a sudden, things just sort of snowballed from there. So you need to have that one video that sort of gives you the confidence to keep going. And that sounds like you had the same kind of experience that I had.
Yeah, it was exactly the same. And then now the issues are like now I have to start trying to get better and get more professional. And like there's a lot of things that I never really thought that I would have to worry about that I'm starting to have to worry about with my channel now, which is a good thing. But just unexpected.
Well, again, like I said, you're one of my favorite. And I don't know if this is because of a similarity in age and time, even just the phrase dingbat. Now, a lot of people younger people probably never even know what that meaning is, but when I was a kid, I'm an 80s baby. I was born in 80. We called each other
Right.
dingbats all the time. And so when I first heard you say that, it might have been the first time I heard that in years, and but it's stuck. So where did the origin of dingbat come from? Why'd you use that?
My dad used to call me dingbat. My dad used to call me dingbat all the time. So yeah, dingbat, But the reason I used it was because I was getting a lot of troll comments, just really stupid comments, and just trolls, just saying totally crazy things. So at the end of one of my videos, I remember thinking, tell these people stop acting like dingbats at the end. So I was like, hey, don't be a dingbat in the comment section, something like that. And then it just kind of caught on from there.
Yeah, it's a great phrase. You have the dingbat, and what's the other one you do all the time? Is you stink. The Giants stink. The Cowboys stink. That's another one that's sort of stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one that's always been something I say. So that was just me being me, pretty much.
Yeah. So you mentioned that where you started, and of course now you just said now that things have got to the point where they are, you have to get better, and you have to. You're always looking to improve the YouTube channel. And I got to say, the editing, the intros that you have are legendary, by the way. The amount of time that probably goes into making those intros and some of the videos that you do. Now, I know you probably already know this because I've told you this, but the video that you made, and I can't find it anymore unless I go way, way, way back in your channel and spend 10 minutes looking for it. The entertainer dolphin video. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, the dolphins are taboo. Where you sing, that is probably the funniest video I've ever seen on YouTube from a sports YouTuber.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and for anybody out there, if you haven't seen that, just go in his channel. I don't know how long ago. That was probably maybe 6 months ago that you made that, or longer. Go look at the entertainer dolphin taboo video. Is probably the funniest thing you'll ever see. I equate that to Saturday Night Live type comedy. That's how good it is.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
that was fun making. I like busting everybody's chops.
So,
but it's all good fun and in respect. So.
Oh yeah. But it's hilarious. So you mentioned getting the channel better. What is the? You don't have to give me your manifesto and tell me all your plans, but. What exactly do you mean by get it better, make it better, and spend more time on it? Is there a certain thing you have in mind to take it to the next level? Or?
Yeah. I need to upgrade my equipment. I think I need to get better at editing. I definitely need to upgrade my camera. I need to probably upgrade my computer because I have a green screen, but every time I run it through my computer, it just slows it up so much that it would be impossible to use during a live stream. And then the other thing is I would like to cover the other sports a little more in depth, like I do with the Eagles.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I'm a little bit envious of that part of it because I'm a fan of other sports too, but my YouTube channel is so narrow as far as the content because it's mainly focused on college football, which I'm not complaining because that's the reason I started the channel and that's what I'm going to continue to do. But my off season's so long, and you guys that do basketball and baseball and football, I'm a little bit envious of that. But so you're going to start doing maybe some more Phillies games and some more 76ers stuff.
Yeah, I would like to do some more live streams I'd like to do some baseball. I'd like to do, more Sixers during the regular season. I cover the Sixers, every game during the playoffs, but it's sometimes it's hard during the regular season just with time because I'm on the West Coast, so a lot of these games start at 4:00 in the afternoon, and I'm not even home yet from work and stuff. So sometimes it's just really hard. But I still would like to give more attention to the other sports as well.
Yeah, you do a lot of 76ers games already. I know I've seen tons of live streams from them.
Yeah.
And then you do every Eagles game pretty much, right?
Yeah, I do every Eagles game from preseason on. Yeah. But that's a lot easier because it's a Sunday and it's once a week. It's just much easier to do football.
Yeah, and to hear you say that you need to get better at editing it really depresses me because I think that you're one of
Why?
because you're one of the best already. And I don't know if I say that, it's believable. But when you say that, I don't know. I mean, I got a long way to go if you got to get better at it.
Well, I have to, it takes like some of those intros take a long time to do. And I probably could be better at, figuring out how to do things. And I think maybe there's software like that OBS thing that people use for green screens. Like, dude, I can't even figure out how to start it, like turn a button. I'm just pushing buttons.
Oh, wow.
I have no idea. Like, I'm so bad with technology.
Well, look here.
I really am.
We'll make a deal right now, right here for everybody to see. You're on OBS right now. This is going to be broadcast on OBS. I do all my live streams on OBS. I'll teach you how to do OBS, no problem. You teach me how to do some of the editing, and we can scratch each other's back. How about that?
That's a deal, man. That's a deal. You got it.
Yeah, I had people help with me, and everyone needs a little bit of help now and then. So, now you mentioned your wife was one of your subscribers when you only had 7. And that's another thing that I'm asking every person because I can relate. I have a wife. I have young children. I know you have a couple of young children. Am I right?
Yeah, I have 2 girls.
So what was the reaction initially, and what's the reaction now from not only your wife, but your kids and maybe other family members or close friends? Do they know about your YouTube channel? Do they support it? Or have you had any sort of pushback from any of them for both the time you spend on it, the money you spend on it, and just maybe some of the crazy antics that you have on your channel? Have you had any sort of weird reaction?
No. There was the only reaction I've had, like, negative is my dad got really upset when I did the I don't know if you remember one of my intros where there's a picture of Dak Prescott and Zeke Elliott holding a water gun dildo. And I start dancing, my dad kind of didn't like that. He thought I was being too offensive. So that was a little bit of pain, but I told him, I was like, I got to do what I got to do. Everybody else has been, real supportive. My wife, she thought it was a great idea because she always gets a kick out of watching me watch the Eagles. So
right.
She thought it was good. And then I would say now with, it growing, now she's, now my wife is like, you got to try to figure out how to do this, and you got to do this. And you want to, like, you need to come out with shirts, and you need to do it. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
She's more the business savvy than me. I'm more like, like trying to figure out just how to, like, make another good video. That's always seems like what I'm worried about.
Well, that's good though, man. To have your wife support you and your kids. I've seen your kids in the intros, which is great. They get involved a little bit, and my kids they want nothing to. I mean, at least my oldest son. My other one's too young to know what's going on, but my oldest son, he's almost 12, and he wants nothing to do with it. Really, he's too shy, I think. And my wife, she supports me, but I'm gonna use the word support very loosely. She allows me to do YouTube, I guess is what I'm saying. She doesn't really
right.
She doesn't really support it, but I understand where she's coming from. She just thinks I'm a maniac. That's really all that comes down to,
Right. No, I think if I was like live streaming like every night for 3-4 hours, I think it probably could become a problem. Maybe at that point, but right now as a stand, no, my wife she's been really good about it.
That's great. That's great. You always need somebody in your life, in your personal life to support you. Otherwise, you're not going to do anything. So that's a testament to her that she does that.
Yeah.
Now, this is something else this is probably not the most fun subject to talk about, but it's still something that weighs on my mind heavy, and that I ask every other YouTuber because I think we're all in the same sort of boat as far as this goes. And that's the future of YouTube, and not just the future of YouTube, but the future of just sports content, independent content creators in general. Do you see a scenario where you branch out from YouTube in either the near future or the distant future and go to another medium, or, either exclusively to another medium or in conjunction with YouTube to try to grow your Philly.500 brand, maybe Twitch or something else that comes along?
Yeah, I think with the way things are going, with the way censorship is going, some of the rules that seem to come out of nowhere, I think it's very important to branch off. I'll never leave YouTube, but I will at some point, and I've already done it a little bit. I'm on BitChute, but I do look to put my stuff in other platforms and other locations too, as well as like maybe build a website. And I think people got to do it just to protect themselves.
Yeah, believe me, I'm right there with you, because I've had a couple of scares. I mean, nothing like where I thought they were going to take my channel down, but I felt some pushback from YouTube. And listen, I don't have a whole lot of subscribers, not compared to you and some of these other guys, but when you spend as much time and effort as we do making this content and building a solid base of people that are, willing to watch the videos and support, you could wake up one day if you say the wrong thing and it's gone. And that would be devastating. Not monetary wise, but just, with all the effort. It's kind of like your baby that you're trying to grow. So I'm right there.
Yeah. And one day when I'm old, I want all my stuff on so my grandkids and kids can all go back and look at all the stuff I did. I think about those kind of things, and I look at like Mark Holmes, right? Mark Holmes had 30,000 subscribers, and they just shut his channel down because they said he was uploading too much. Now, who would have known that there was something wrong with that? Or look at Josh and Sean when they were live streaming and somebody flagged them and they got shut down just because somebody made a false claim against them. I mean, it could change so quickly.
Yeah, it can. And I've already experienced that a little bit. I'm at to the point now where YouTube pretty much demonetizes every video I make immediately. And then they'll review it and remonetize it like 72 hours later. And I don't know where that just started happening within the past month or so. And I think they put me in timeout because I made a lot of videos kind of trashing them. And I think they got wind of that.
Well, dude, it's funny you say that because I went for about 4 or 5 months. Every video I did was demonetized. And I was trying to think, why would they demonetize? Like, I don't even curse really. I don't use the F word in my videos and things like that. I don't know why every video I have, I'm being demonetized and I have to get it reviewed. And then I figured out, well, at least my theory was, maybe it's because I was on conspiracy theory sites, because I watch a lot of conspiracy theory stuff. So what I did was I started signing out of my account and not putting conspiracy theory stuff that I watch on my YouTube, history. And all of a sudden, like a week or two later, everything was monetized, no problem.
You got to be kidding me.
I swear to God. I swear. Well, that's what happened.
That might be me too, because I watch a lot of that stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's that's what happened to me. So now when I watch now conspiracy theory stuff, I have my own, little channel for that, where I can go in, and it has nothing to do with my channel.
Wow, man, I might need to do that. But I'm glad you brought that up, because that was actually my next question here. I wasn't letting you off this interview without talking about conspiracies. So,
I know.
Now I like to sort of mess with you. We mess with each other back and forth on Twitter and stuff about these conspiracies. And I don't want to come off as if I've even made videos about this, about debunking conspiracy theorists and theories, and I get crazy responses from people. It's unbelievable. And what I started with was, debunking the NFL is staged or scripted and rigged, and I did NFL is rigged videos, and I could not believe the backlash I got from that, and so I stopped making those videos because it was giving me a headache. But you've taken the conspiracy sort of genre on YouTube to a whole nother level. And I've trolled you a little bit about it, and I have a theory about you. I don't want to blow your cover, and I could be completely off base about this, and you could tell me if I'm right or wrong.
Okay.
I don't think that you actually believe some of the stuff that you say about especially when it comes to the flat Earth and the space being fake and all that sort of thing. Am I totally off base here, or?
No. Some of it, like in like streams and stuff where like I'm debating people. Sometimes I just take a contrarian view because, my point is always that I don't trust what they tell us about certain things, and if I can't trust one thing, then I can't trust them all. Now, I do not believe in flat Earth.
Okay.
Okay. So I don't believe in flat Earth, even though I will argue, like let's say like the Dream Stream. I'll argue it, but I don't necessarily believe it. But I don't believe we went to space. So my view is, if we haven't been there, we don't know what it really looks like. Then how do we know they're wrong? And I kind of take that thing, that approach to it.
I see. That's where you lose me, is because listen, I'm all with I'm right there with you as far as not trusting the government or not trusting NASA or anything involved with the government. But here's the position I take is I do think you have to use some common sense here. And I certainly believe space is real. I certainly believe that satellites are real and all that sort of thing. Because I
do too. Yeah, I do too.
Okay. Because I can see it. And, I just think that, we're taking a step backwards if we're talking about space being fake. But
no, I don't think space is fake. I just don't think we went to space.
Well, if there's satellites in a space station, we've been to space.
Well, they're high orbit. I mean, like out, like to the moon. I don't believe astronauts have been on the moon.
Okay, I'm willing to accept the fact that maybe we have not been to the moon. I'm not saying we have, but we have sent probes, multiple probes out to other planets and stuff, and so we got pictures of the Earth from very far away, from like the Voyager space probes and everything. Here's my point, is that when it comes to conspiracies, I think that people that are not you necessarily, but a lot of people that are really, really deep into conspiracies, they think just because the government or NASA lies about some things that everything is fake. So in other words, just because maybe we didn't land on the moon, maybe, does not mean that the Earth is flat or that space is fake. You know what I'm saying? I don't connect the dots just because they lie about some stuff that everything is not real. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree with you. I agree totally. I don't think everything is a conspiracy. I don't think everything's fake. I just think that they create their own problem, because if you can't trust them about one thing, let's say, then how do you know what thing is real, what thing isn't, what to trust them on, what not to trust them on?
Yeah.
And I can't separate the two.
Yeah, my trust actually is much closer to home than actual space. It's actually, the governments of the world. That's what I don't trust. As far as what's going on the Earth, I don't believe. A politician opens his mouth, I don't believe it. I don't care if it's Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, or any other politician that's been alive since 1776. I don't believe anything any of them says until I, actually see the proof for myself. So
I agree.
I'm with
you.
And as I said that, I just heard YouTube demonetize this video.
I'm telling you, I'm sure.
Oh man! All right, so that makes me feel better that you don't think the Earth's flat, because I was having a hard time with that.
No, I don't. I don't think it's flat. I do. In a debate situation, I will take that. I do find some of their questions interesting if the premise is that we have never been to space, but I don't. There's not enough information for me to say, yeah, the Earth's flat. I can't go that far.
Yeah. All right. Well, I can respect the questioning of everything. That's good. But anyway, either way, no matter what, your conspiracy theories and your how deep you get into explaining all this different stuff is fascinating to me, because for sports YouTube channel to go that depth into something non-sports related, it just shows that you think about it a lot, and I do too. I don't talk about it on YouTube until now, but I understand and appreciate the fascination of it. So it's a whole other element of your channel outside of sports that I think is fascinating, is that aspect of it.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. I like conspiracies. Even if I don't believe them, I'll watch every single one, because I just find it fascinating.
I believe in aliens. I'm not saying I believe or know that they've come here. I would like to think that they have, but I certainly believe that anybody that thinks, as big as the universe is, that we're the only life or intelligent life, and all of it is, that's a completely asinine thing to believe, that there's no other life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, did you see? You know who Bob Lazar is?
Yes, I saw it. I've watched it 3 times already, Unbelievable.
Oh, you watched him? That was pretty good. Yeah, it was good.
It's almost hard not to believe that guy, isn't it?
Oh, I believe him. I don't think he's lying. He just, I think he's totally telling the truth.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of believe him too. And I mean, who knows? He's either the best liar in the world or he's telling the truth. And I tend to side with the fact that he's makes more sense than he doesn't. You know what I mean?
I agree. And I've watched some of his other stuff, some of his old stuff. And I mean, you should see some of that stuff because some of the things he talks about, he does not talk about in that documentary about seeing aliens, seeing autopsies, some crazy stuff.
Oh, I've seen all the old '80s footage and everything, the interviews. Yeah, I'm into this conspiracy thing too. I just don't believe all the conspiracies. But Bob Lazar is, for anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, go look up Bob Lazar, Boblazar. Or watch the Joe Rogan interview that he did a couple weeks ago, and in its entirety. Yeah. And watch the documentary that was on Netflix that just came out a few weeks ago too. What was that called? Bob Lazar, UFOs in Area 51 or something like that. Flying saucers in Area 51.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
You can make your own judgment, but I'm telling you, he hasn't changed his story in 30-something years, and he really doesn't even look for the limelight. Because a lot of these, alien people are out of their mind, and they're just looking for attention from the media, and he's not. He's not.
I agree. Yeah, I thought it was fascinating. Yeah. I think I even texted Josh like, "Dude, you gotta watch this." He's like, "Yeah, I already watched it."
Yeah, unbelievable. I watched it like 3 times. I tried to get my wife to watch it. She lasted 5 minutes. She doesn't give 2 craps about it. She's like, "Are you crazy?" She's like, "Are you crazy?" I'm like, "Yeah."
That's great. I want my wife to watch it too. The problem is that my oldest kid will get scared if that stuff's on. So I have to wait until she's like asleep or have headphones on because it will freak her out.
All right, listen. I think I've nailed everything that I wanted to talk to you about. Again, for anybody who doesn't know who this guy is, Philly.500, King Dingbat himself. Go check him out on YouTube. Just type in Philly.500. You'll know who he is immediately. He'll come up on YouTube. He's not hard to find. And even if you're not a fan of Philadelphia sports or the Philadelphia Eagles, I promise you, because I'm not a fan of Philadelphia Eagles, but again, his videos are as good as they get and as entertaining as they get. And it's almost effortless, the comedy that this guy has. It's there's just, I don't know, maybe it's just me. I'm sure it's not just me because you have about 14,000 subscribers, but maybe it's just me, but he hits home runs on every video he makes. During the football season, it's must-watch TV. So thank you for stopping in.
I appreciate, man. I appreciate all the kind words. I appreciate you having me, man. It was an honor to be here. I love your channel, and I'm always watching. And, yeah, man, just thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, the pleasure's all mine. And hopefully we'll try to figure out some sort of way to collaborate during the football season because that's my bread and butter. I'm not a basketball or baseball guy. And hopefully we can link up again. Yeah. And make some magic.
Yeah. I would love it. All
right, man. Well, thank you for stopping in. It's been a pleasure. And I will talk to you soon.
Same. All right, buddy. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Take care. Bye.
There you have it, folks. The legendary, the one, the only King Dingbat Philly.500. I can't tell you how excited I was whenever I texted him or hit him up and invited him on, and he said he would love to do it because, again, one of my favorite guys on YouTube. And not just a great video maker, but an unbelievably nice, genuinely nice guy. It's not fake. It's not an act. He's just a good dude. So everyone go check him out. I hope you enjoyed this. Everybody have a great and safe, more importantly than anything, 4th of July holiday tomorrow. And I will be seeing you very soon. I'm tentatively planning on still doing my Friday night beer stream on Friday night. We'll see what's going on. But thank you all for stopping in. You're all amazing. You're all fantastic. Thank you to the King Dingbat. Have a good day. Pigskin Pete checking.